Hi everyone, Steve. Welcome to another edition of the Audiophiles. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't subscribed already, guys, please hit that subscription button. It helps me out a ton. Again, thank you so much for all your support. Glad you're enjoying my channel. And if you don't know Norman Maslov, thank you so much for the vinyl community. Mazzy got me this shirt. Check out his channel, Norman Maslov. Thank you so much. Love it, Mazzy. Thank you so much for that. Now today, man, I thought I'd do something really fun. Why aren't all audiophile pressings now either cut at 45 RPM in either super vinyl or clarity vinyl? Why isn't that happening if that's the definitive sounding cuts of these albums these days, according to all the different reviews I read or listen to or watch? So I did a little experiment using a $30 decibel meter that I got on Amazon. So check it out. We'll see you on the other side of the Audiophiles. Had me thinking the other day, I know Michael Jackson's Thriller, the mobile Fidelity One-Step has just shipped. I haven't received mine yet. That's cut at 33 RPM on super vinyl now, and that's a one-step. Now, I was thinking to myself, okay, it's not 45. I guess they're not going to do it 45. Then I read a article that eventually MoFi is going to come out with a 45 RPM of Thriller. So it's like, okay, I give up. Is it best at 33 RPM using super vinyl, using the one-step process, or does it sound better at 45 RPM using super vinyl and the one-step process if you're mobile Fidelity? Great question. Or if you're Analogue Productions, and this is a great example, Kind of Blue. We all know Kind of Blue by Miles Davis, incredible album. Analogue Productions first came out with a UHQR CLARITY pressing, mastered by Bernie Grundman at 33 RPM. Then, not long ago, Analogue Productions came out with the same album, UHQR version, clarity vinyl, cut at 45 RPM, again from the master tapes by Bernie Grundman. So, you can read reviews about the 33 RPM before the 45 RPM came out, and people were raving, oh, it sounds great. Pin drop quiet vinyl, oh my God, it's incredible. So much clarity, etc., etc., etc. I mean, you sort of know it already from the reviews. Then the 45 RPM Miles Davis Kind of Blue comes out, UHQR from Analogue Productions, and we're raving about that again, saying, oh my goodness, it sounds even much more clarity. Wow, I can hear more of the instruments. I can just hear more separation of the instruments. Wow, this is incredible at 45 RPM. Wow. And that's true, and that's correct. But I was thinking to myself, now, if it's that great at 45 RPM, cut at 45 RPM on super vinyl if you're mobile Fidelity, or clarity vinyl, UHQR if you're Analogue Productions, why don't these audiophile companies just press everything on their super vinyl or on their clarity vinyl and cut it all at 45 RPM? Clearly, that is the winning formula for both of these companies. It seems to be the winning formula with most that review these albums. So what I did is I wanted to test it for myself. I think, again, I'm no expert. I just love doing this. I'm a fan like all of you guys. I thought, okay, I'm gonna buy a $30 decibel meter off of Amazon and do a little experiment with Miles Davis Kind of Blue. I really wanted to see for myself how much better the 45 or the 33 sounded, just on the loudness of the album itself. So I'll start with this. So here's my, just so you can see, I do own it. This is the 33 RPM Kind of Blue. So I think it says it there somewhere. Gotta love the 6i, love the 6i. There's a 33. Then I have the 45. So what I did is I listened to So What, track 1, side 1 of this album a ton of times. Listened to each track with this decibel meter, had the volume of each of the song from each, the 33 and the 45 at the exact same level. This was sitting in the exact same spot in the middle of my listening room. And so here's what I did. Started with the 33 RPM, listened to So What, I don't know, 4 times. Then listened to the 45 RPM version of So What, the same amount of times. Watched the decibel meter throughout the song, took notes on sort of the highs and lows of the song, and where it might have been louder, 33 versus 45. So, was it louder? Again, this is primitive. You guys might think I'm, on something these days. I'm not, but here's what I found. So listening to Miles Davis, UHQR version, the So What track, 33 RPM. On average, it was 2 decibels lower in sound from the lows of the instrument to the highs versus the 45 RPM album. So what does that mean? Well, I think that means, with 45 RPM, we know higher frequency response. The grooves obviously are a little bit larger, so you're getting an opportunity, I think, as a mastering engineer to cut the album a little bit louder because, of course, there's more room on a 45 RPM album than there would be on a 33 RPM album because you're only dealing with like 1 or 2 songs per side. So that allows for less worries from a mastering engineer for inner groove distortion. Again, this is just my take on things. I'm not a master engineer. Clearly I'm not, and you guys know that, but I just thought it would be neat to sort of compare them as well. So on average, from the highs and the low, when you're listening to the bass on So What, or you're listening to the drums on So What, it was about 2 decibels higher than, the 45 was 2 decibels higher than 33 RPM. And I was amazed by that. So I truly believe that the 45 RPM, is going to sound better. It's going to sound a little bit louder, and that is fact. So my question again is this: so if the definitive, I think, answer to the best sounding albums is 45 RPM cut, super vinyl on MoFi or Analogue Productions, Clarity vinyl, why isn't everything cut at 45 RPM? Why isn't everything pressed on Clarity vinyl or super vinyl? Why can't all of Analogue Productions be pressed on Clarity vinyl? Why can't all of Mobile Fidelities now be pressed on super vinyl? I would like to know why that can't happen. As a consumer, as someone that loves sound, this is a valid question. I don't think I'm off my rocker to ask this question, but I truly believe that 45 is the definitive sounding pressing of any type of album. Obviously, mastering has a lot to do with it. The initial recording and production, of course, has a lot to do with it. But I truly think that why can't it all be 45 RPM on the vinyl that these companies advertise, the super vinyl and the UHQR Clarity vinyl? I'd like to get your thoughts in comments. Please comment below what your thoughts are. I know with 45 RPM, you're getting off your ass more than once versus a 33 RPM. But something like Thriller that's going to be eventually cut at 45, I'm not going there. The flow of the album would be all messed up for me. And yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a little bit louder. Clearly it's going to be a little bit louder because it's 45 RPM cut by 1 or 2 decibels. To make it that much greater, you have to have the 45 versus the 33. I don't know. It's a debate. It's interesting. Tell me what you think. I thought you'd enjoy this. I was curious. Again, this is just a primitive test, but I was thinking after I read that Thriller is coming out at 45 RPM at some point, I'm like, oh, really? Okay. Is this a money grab? What is this? Anyways, tell me your thoughts, guys. Keep spinning that vinyl. Turn it up real loud. We'll see you again.